Hello everyone, author Tillery here, the Mistress of Horror. Welcome back to my channel. Before we get started, but you press the subscribe button and ring that bell so you know when I'm uploading new videos. Welcome back to the writer's vlog. I don't think I have a whole lot to say for this month that has passed and tiptoed into the new month of November. One thing I did want to mention, and there will be an official trailer, is that I am currently in the middle of launching my first full-length fantasy novel. It's a dark fantasy novel, and it has been a trudging journey because of, budget and things of that nature. What can one do about those things besides the fact that if that's your situation, then that's your situation if you have a tight budget, and I do. But I am grateful for people like Dale L. Roberts, who gives information that us self-published writers need, as well as different avenues that we could utilize to better our book launches. He is in the middle of releasing a very useful and helpful book series that will help self-published authors. I myself have utilized these books. I've reviewed a few of them. If you follow my channel, then you would see those reviews up. I have found them extremely helpful. Though being the case that I have a very tight budget, I will do the best I can with the launch of Caliostro. I talk about it a lot. I put videos up on my TikTok, on my Instagram, on my Facebook, on YouTube, clearly. I did a Kickstarter for Caliostro. It did succeed. And then the plan was hopefully that those people that got the book early would possibly leave a review for the launch day. I'm sure I would get a few from those people, the ones who have finished the book. But I'm not sure exactly how many follow through on that, even with Kickstarter and you back a project. So it's always up in the air for us writers when we're talking about reviews. I'm trying to do better with networking in my field. And Dale's new book, Networking for Authors, actually really goes into depth and deepness on that subject, which is very, very helpful to me. It's just, of course, being introverted, it's a little difficult to, it feels difficult to do a lot of those things. But I am utilizing the information in that book and following through on quite a bit of it. It's not that I didn't have networking in my mind. It's not that I wasn't already doing networking. It was more of a natural flow of networking for myself. I connected with people and different readers and different writers in my field just through a natural course of action, so to speak. So it's not like I wasn't doing it already, but Dale's book actually helped me solidify some very direct ways to do that. So I'm really grateful for that book and grateful for all the previous books in this series. Anything I do mention here, I will link below in my description for anyone who's interested in checking out Dale's books. And I will link the reviews of those books below, since I'm talking about a lot about self-publishing today. I had to go through quite a few things, a few issues with the company I decided to go with to print my books for the Kickstarter, since that was pretty much the first soft launch of Caliostro, Tale of the Light Virgin. And I went with Barnes & Noble Press. I'm told that they use the same printer as Ingram Spark does. And, when you order books that way, they use the local printers that are near you. So it's individual location. So if you use Barnes Noble Press and let's say you live in California, then you're not going to get the same direct printer that's going to ship to your house or your office or wherever you get your books sent to. So, but I live where I live in Maryland, and it's the same printer that's going to send my stuff. So after the third shipping of the books, I finally got all the amounts that were promised printed correctly and not damaged. So I had to go through that 3 times. The first batch of books, both paperback and hardbacks, were damaged and or printed wrong. And then the second go through, the paperbacks made it because they shipped them separately from the hardbacks. And then the hardbacks came with multiple ones damaged in that set as well. So then after the third time, they sent just the hardbacks because the paperbacks had been fine, and then all came with no damage or misprints. Mostly because they finally decided to pack the boxes correctly, because that was the issue with the damage. The boxes weren't packaged correctly. It's such a, like, you had one job, Packer Sam. You had one job, like, anyway. So I had to deal with that. So finally, that's all done. If you notice behind me, I actually, some of the stack of the Caliostro books are there. All of the Kickstarter backers have their books except for the one person who never did their survey. Maybe one day they will, but they have the ebook package, so that's really easy to rectify once they fill out the information, so I can know where to send it. And then I still have, I believe, 2 people left to send the physical books to, because I'm waiting on their shipping fees. I can't send the physical stuff without the shipping fees, so those are the last 2, thank goodness. And then I'll be done. So that was a bit of a journey. I was glad that it actually funded, but it's a lot after the fact. And it wasn't anything that was on my part, of course. The printing was somewhat of an issue, as you heard. But then the people not following through. Apparently that's a thing, but I think I had a monumentally large portion of people not following through on time. I did follow my schedule on time. I only had a slight hiccup with the printing, which I did get in advance, but the time, the original deadline that I set for myself, I had most of the books, which didn't matter at the end of the day because the people who were supposed to send their shipping hadn't sent their shipping yet. So none of them had. And you have to expect things to go wrong when you're talking about doing a Kickstarter and ordering books in general from any printer, apparently. It doesn't matter which one you're using. They all mess up. You just keep your fingers crossed that it's not you that they mess up this time. And there's no way to know that, unfortunately. But with Caliostro, I am publishing the paperback and the hardback through Amazon. I didn't go with Ingram Spark for that because I could not pay for the bulk of ISBNs that I need. Of course, here in the US, they have let one company, because technically they, apparently as far as the law, there usually is only one company that would be the one that you would buy ISBNs through. But in America, of course, they decided the ISBNs wouldn't be free. Of course, definitely not. And they also decided that they would price gouge them. That's what they're doing. One ISBN being $125 is ridiculous. And then try this as if they're selling you something. You could tell that they don't have business ethics because they're trying to sell you barcodes when you could get barcodes for free from Kindlepreneur. So that whole spiel is we just don't have a choice of where we purchase our ISBNs from because we're in the US, and that's how it is here. So that being the case, unfortunately, even with the Kickstarter funding, that covered all the books to be printed for the people who backed it, and for some of the logistics that I talked about in the Kickstarter being covered to launch Caliostro. That did not include, I would have had to do much better on the Kickstarter to cover a pack of ISBNs, for instance. And unfortunately, that did not work out. The numbers didn't add up, which is fine because the companies offer ISBNs. So you do have to see where you're going to go with. I decided to do D2D for the ebook distribution because it would be a wider distribution for Caliostro instead of just going purely Amazon, which I've done in the past to learn the market. So I went with D2D, so it would be distributed more places. And I was going to do D2D for the paperback, but they do charge $30 for a proof, which seems a little ridiculous, you know what I mean? So on that front, I decided just to go ahead with Amazon because, again, I couldn't do Ingram Spark because I don't have ISBNs myself. So I went with Amazon for the paperback and the hardback. So the ebook will still be on Amazon, but you cannot pre-order it through Amazon because Amazon doesn't allow third-party pre-orders, pass-throughs. So with the ebook, the paperback, and the hardback will show up on launch day, which is December 5th, which I did do a video about the official release date. That being said, that's how I'm publishing this time around. I did think about using Publish Drive for the paperback, but it's turning out to be a little difficult as far as the files are concerned. The current files that I have for both Barnes and Noble Press and for Amazon do not fit and work on Publish Drive. So I would have to make a whole nother version of the paperback for Publish Drive alone. Now, Publish Drive is subscription based, also a recommendation by Dale L. Roberts, which is a great company because there are distribution possibilities. But the upload is not going well. I've tried it multiple times the other night, so that means I would have to spend time with my formatter to make yet another version of the book. And I don't really have the time or anything else to deal with yet another formatted version of the paperback. I'm just going to go ahead and I already have it all ready to go and upload it for Amazon. So I'm just going to do that this time around. I figure in the future when the second book comes out in 25 that I will have a wire distribution for book 2. As far as the physical book is concerned, of course, I'm going to do direct sales as well. My website, which I'm currently switching over to an e-commerce website, you can purchase the books directly from me through that. I probably will do orders for both the hardback of Amazon's version and the hardback for Barnes & Noble Press version. That is the plan right now. You'll be able to purchase directly from me. You'll be able to purchase the paperback and hardback through Amazon, and you'll be able to get the ebook in a variety of places. I have the link below for my books to read link where it will have everything housed together about where you can get Caliostro. So that being said, I did talk about in my launch video, which I will link below as well, and at the end of this video, you can find out about Caliostro that way. Also have the official book trailer that was at the end of that launch, which I'm going to separately put the book trailer up, the newest book trailer, because there's multiple book trailers for Caliostro right now, and those were released on the Kickstarter run. But yeah, and I'm going to have a launch party, so look out for the video for the official announcement for the launch party. I am interested in inviting many people as would be willing to come. It will be live on December 4th, and it's going to run into midnight when the book launches for December 5th. That is the plan. But please do look out for that video. It should be releasing today as well, for the official announcement for the launch party for Caliostro. I'm very focused on Caliostro, so that's pretty much what's going on my writer's blog. I have, changed my newsletter back to monthlies. It was quarterly. I really want as many people as possible to read Caliostro. That's all I have. Just to update about what's going on with Caliostro and its launch coming on December 5th. Again, look out for the trailer, and maybe next month I'll have some more to talk about because Caliostro will be out, and maybe I'll have good news about it doing crazy good, right? See you all in the next video. Stay scared.